means it's live. I'm going to get this recording out not only into our YouTube archives, but I will also give you a link on the Monday email that we have. Joseph, thank you very much, because you gave me the slide deck that you guys are going to see, so you don't need to take pictures or pause on this. Don't worry, it's going to be in your inbox. I really suggest you to take not only the recording and the slide deck going forward and get it to your teams. Talk about it next Wednesday on a lunch break. You know, just really kind of embrace this thing. And then finally, Jason, our pilot, I mean, come on, you are the captain here on the pilot. You're piloting this thing. You are touring around the country for the next few months. So you're not only getting a chance to really see everybody hand to hand answering those questions, but you put together a really competent touring schedule and day in-store training. Guys, check the event section, sign up, register, get into that class. We even allow time after Jason's done in the stores for you to bring in projects and for us to kind of get one-on-one and so forth. So plenty of time for unique discussions and classroom type of environment to really learn. All right, guys, I just watched the video that we did at CD. I'm going to put that on my LinkedIn a little bit later on today, but I said something like, hey, this team, these guys are my favorite. And I really mean that. You guys are great. Thank you guys so much. Audience, Alex, I see you on here. I see a lot of good friends on here. We're going to dive in. We're going to get this and we're going to get this saturated into us. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on over to Jason. We are recording next hour. Let's get to work, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Again, a masterful intro. So, I'd like to say thanks for everybody taking the time out and really say, we've done a couple of those road shows, as Gary was talking about, and the opportunity in the morning, to learn about our product and get your, more in-depth knowledge, really great. And the afternoon session, it's all free form. You come in and we just, discuss your projects. Great opportunity, to see where Clara can fit in and make your projects a reality. So I'm going to start off with our little video. Here we go.
Let's go.
Oh, except I am stalled, believe it or not. Let me just get out of this, and I am going to start from the beginning. Do we see my we see the welcome?
No.
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 Because I'm not sharing. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry about this. And
No
share my screen. Share it up. Start from the beginning. There we go. And now the video.
In the ever-evolving world of home automation, where technology meets comfort, one name stands out above the rest: Clara. With close to 2 decades of experience in the industry, Clara has established itself as a pioneer in motorized shade solutions. What sets Clara apart is our unwavering commitment to excellence. From exhaustive research to impeccable design and cutting-edge engineering, our motorized shade solutions captivate with their visual appeal. Whether it's our indoor shades or our outdoor solutions, you can trust that each product is backed by years of experience, meticulous craftsmanship, and a dedication to surpassing industry standards. We understand that time is of the essence for both you and your clients. That's why we've streamlined our processes to provide a quick turnaround, ensuring that projects are completed on schedule. But our commitment doesn't stop at the products alone. Our comprehensive team, equipped with a robust 3-tier support system, is here to assist you every step of the way. From conceptualizing designs and generating accurate quotes, to helping with seamless installations and providing programming support, we offer the right guidelines and unwavering assistance to ensure your success. With the increasing demand for motorized shades in today's market and Clara's competitive pricing structure, partnering with Clara Shades opens doors to new opportunities and enables dealers to expand and grow their business. Choose a partner that understands your reality and delivers exceptional products and unparalleled service. Visit our website at clarashades.com to learn more and experience the difference with Clara. Clara, see the difference.
Great. So welcome everyone to our CEDIA virtual tour. If any of you made it to CEDIA and were able to come to our booth, we hope that you enjoyed your visit to our booth. If you didn't, well, we're going to try to make you relive that experience right here today. We had an amazing time at CEDIA. It was great. We really wanted to bring that experience to you. So today we're going to take a quick look at our product lineup, our dealer portal, And we're going to introduce you to our latest innovation that's in development, but that stirred up a ton of curiosity and interest at CEDIA, our Clara AI. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We're going to answer them as we go along. So our CEDIA team, we had like such a great time. I was privileged to work with my colleagues, and we had a great time. So I just wanted to introduce you to our team. So from left to right, at the left is Joseph, myself, Silvana. We have Jason, who you will also be speaking with today. We have Jesse, Alex, and Hugo, an amazing, amazing team. And we had, boy, did we have lots of fun. So our booth was buzzing with excitement for the entire 3 days of CEDIA. We had such a great time showing off our booth, letting people know what Clara is all about, and what makes us great. So let's take a look at our amazing booth, if you will. So here you have our lounge section. This is our lounge, sorry, our shade, our lounge section, which you'll see our outdoor shade later. And look at all the people. It was amazing. Wasn't that amazing? We're very proud of the booth, and we were very happy that everyone dropped by, and we were just having a great time.
Silvana, if I can add at this point, I mean, it was really cool to see, you know, like, as you guys know, if you visited the Snap One booth, which is extremely busy at CEDIA, you typically need to book a time slot to be able to walk it through properly and have somebody, you know, make you visit the booth and understand all the different technicalities and new product releases, right? But what was really cool is that when you would finish your Snap One booth, the sales reps or the team at Snap One would literally walk over to our booth. We're right next door to them, and they would bring down the dealers, and we would have the opportunity to explain, you know, the different lineup we have and how easy we integrate with their product and other products. And it came to a point that we were overloaded with the number of people visiting our booth. So the Snap One staff kind of took over, and they started even presenting and introducing Clara Shades on their own. It was pretty sweet to see. So what an experience it was to be next to the biggest partner at CEDIA, which is Snap One.
It was. So speaking of Snap One, so yes, our exclusive partnership, we're very proud to be associated with Snap One as our exclusive distributor in the US. And as Joseph said, we were very close to their booth, and during the show, they brought lots of people over, and as he mentioned, they were even doing the presentation themselves. So a great partnership there. And we wanted to show you, this is the Snap One booth, and you can see on the right hand side we had our shade there. You can see the Clara logo. It was an open roll shade, so we had our visibility right there too. So it was really great being close to them and having them close by and working with us. So one of the advantages of this exclusive partnership is a great opportunity for you as partners to earn Snap One rewards. So for every $1 spent at Clara, you get 3 points. So a great way to maximize your points. So as a matter of fact, like, this is the equivalent of to the Snap One 1P product. So great way to max out your rewards just by buying Clara Shades and using them in your project. And so we're very, very proud of that. So take advantage of that with Clara Shades and Snap One.
Silvana, if I may, it's very common, you know, coming from the industry, we understand we were integrators first and foremost. A bit like Snap One. Snap One was born by integrators. So we like to say we're for dealers, by dealers. And from coming from the industry, we knew that, you know, you could literally double your revenue just by integrating motorized shades in your automation solution. Yeah, you're good to sell audio, video, lighting, temperature control, and so on. But you could double that sale just by integrating motorized shades. And when you integrate Clara Shades into your solutions, you could literally double your amount of points and get 3 points on the dollar. So that really helps from a status perspective with Snap One, but also from a reward perspective and perks and so on. So really important to consider putting motorized and specifically Clara Shades into your solutions today.
Absolutely. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Jason, who's going to just review with you our product lineup, and we'll go from there. Jason?
Thank you, Silvana. And just before we dig in, every time I see that video, it brings me right back to, we just arrived at the airport. We made arrangements with the team to meet up at the booth. And when I walked in and saw that booth, I'm sorry you guys only get it in the video. It's even more impressive in real life. And it was really, really sensational. And just on that fact that Joe was saying about, the Snap One team coming over with partners and then even giving them a demo, we were so busy from start to end. It was amazing. Just the energy was so high. As I was saying before, it's not my first time at CEDIA, but it was my first time at CEDIA as a presenter. I'll never, ever forget it. So PoE shades, that was the big shakeup in our booth. Yeah, every single one of ours, and even in the Snap One booth that we saw there, every single indoor shade was run on a PoE motor. And it's pretty easy to see why. It's a cost-effective cabling, Cat 5e or better, for a fully wired solution, bidirectional solution in a single cat. I mean, people were like, well, we terminate cat in our sleep. The whole industry, category cables, totally, the standard, the gold standard of wiring it, and it's cost effective. I mean, what an amazing, amazing solution to offer. Some of the other things people were saying was they couldn't believe when they saw what it took to run it. We just had a simple core processor out on the counter and the PoE switch, a type 2, a 30 watt, because that's what the current draw is for the shades. And they were like, that's it? That's all it takes to set this up. And quite frankly, that's all it takes. I can give you all kinds of specs, and if you have any questions, like Silvana mentioned, we're ready. You just put them into the chat, and we'll try and answer them. If not during the conversation, at the end of the conversation. And
but Jason, let's hit on that 300 feet. Like we said, name me a shade that can be wired up to 300 feet. None, right? The 24 volt can go up to 300 feet. So now you have a shade that runs on PoE. Like we're talking about a real PoE, meaning real IP, real Ethernet protocol. So any switch that has 30 watts per port with the right backplane, because obviously the Arachne switch from Snap One all have the proper specification to be able to offer at least 30 watts per port. As long as you have 30 watts per port, you're good to go. And say you want to go to 600 feet. Well, now you could just add a secondary rack or a secondary network room with another PoE switch, extend your IP network, and then you're good to go to any range you want to go. And that's the beauty of going with PoE. You don't need an electrician. You don't need a panel. You don't need a space on the wall. You literally need a PoE switch that is in the rack and that natively talks to Control 4 or any other technology like Crestron or Crestron Home or so on, but natively talks to these control systems, meaning no gateway. Really important, no gateway. Literally natively integrate into Control 4, for example. So if you are buying a Clara shade and you're integrating into Control 4, you feel you're buying a Control 4 shade. Literally, that's the feeling you get. And that's the beauty of this partnership, is making sure that we accelerate the technology and get things out like that to you guys.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there isn't another shade that you can run that kind of length with, and cost-effective cabling too. I can't believe how easy the configuration tool is for this product too, and the amount of configuration that you can get in terms of adjustment. I mean, you can see it was well thought out, and what a great addition to the lineup. frankly.
We got the question at the CDA. Okay, well, now we're on the portal. We're building our quotes of PoE shades, and people say, okay, what accessories do you need to add now? We're like, none. No accessories. It's just a shade. The shade connects to Cat 5 or Cat 6 to the switch, and then you're good to go. That's how easy it is. So the beauty of the PoE solution is that it really is an integrated and native solution to the automation system.
So this is a little shot of our booth in the pre-game hours, because I mean, the minute that they said the show was open, everything really took off. But you can see here, that is the PoE motor gracefully, dropping down the shade. And people couldn't believe just how quiet it was. They actually were like going in there trying to stick their ear in and hear something. And every time, I mean, I knew it was a quiet motor, but just hearing it from everybody else just reinforced it. We see it here. This is our enclosed hardware, and you could see before in the Snap One booth, it was the open roll hardware that we had going on. So we're not just a PoE shading company, and that's important, because I mean, in the conversations, people were saying, well, sometimes I don't have a network cable. I might step in on a job and they wired it some other way. And at Clara, we have a motorized solution for every type of wiring you have. And with this solution in particular, we even have an opportunity for zero wiring. So the Zigbee 3.0 solution, I mean, Zigbee communication, if you've worked with Control 4, it's a mesh technology, not a point-to-point. So even if a piece was to go down, the system doesn't go down. It continues to communicate. The motors and the routers will allow that mesh to fix itself and continue communicating. So in the lineup, we have two motor types: the fully wireless solution, meaning it can go anywhere, even if nothing was wired. It's a lithium-ion battery, so no shopping for D cells. And with our magnetic pigtail recharger, you don't even have to climb up a ladder. You'll literally be able to couple the power supply to the magnetic pigtail charger. You don't have to climb up a ladder to change the batteries. The second motor that we have is what you can see in that green, the upper green circle. I mean, in terms of looks, it looks identical, but this one, on just a 2-con for power, you get a 24-volt solution that actually repeats and extends the range of the mesh. Now, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Just like Control 4, light switches will extend the range of the mesh, that 24-volt shade also does that job.
I hope the folks are grasping what you're saying, Jay, because that's a very important point. What you just said is like, can you imagine having 50 shades in a home and not being able to reach, I don't know, shade number 40 to 50, and now the shades act as a repeaters. They repeat the signal. So now you created your own mesh just by integrating 24-volt Zigbee mesh shades. And that's the strength of this solution, is that it will self-heal and repeat its signal throughout the project. So I don't know if I just wanted to highlight how important that was, Jason.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, the range of the system, it could be humongous, right? I mean, just because of that, the ability of the mesh to repeat the signal around, limitations. Even if you didn't have a shade in between that effective range of about 75 feet, in the bottom right, we see the routing plug that could be added in the middle, and then boom, you just jumped another 75 feet effectively. So really, really powerful technology. This solution, one of the things that's really great about it is it can go ultra simple, where it's like just a single handheld remote control talking directly to the shades, or with the gateway, which we see in that left-hand side, that's the Tahoma switch gateway. With that gateway, you can bump it up a level and get app control, proprietary app control over the shades. And that same gateway allows you to integrate this product into third-party solutions like the Control4s, like the Crestrons, and the other major players out there. That we're going to see a slide with all their names afterwards. It just, I mean, not enough good things with PoE and this in their lineup. I mean, it's what a sensation.
And Jason, if you don't mind, I just want to take two
Go ahead.
questions that popped in for PoE
Sure.
and Zigbee. I think they're very good questions, and one of them is with the PoE shade support. Will the PoE shade support multi panels, meaning coupled shades, or should we design for one panel run per panel? So the answer to that question is absolutely. You can do coupled shades with the PoE solution. The portal always guides you through the process. It kind of eliminates a bit the thinking on your end. You don't need to remember what does what. The portal, when you select coupled shades and you want an S-line PoE solution, it will guide you through it, and you can do coupled shades with our S-line solution. And should you want larger, we'll talk about customs requests later on. It is very easy to submit a custom request to get larger solutions, even with the PoE solution. And the second question is, can you show us the magnetic charger? Absolutely. After, when we're going to be on the portal, we'll cover a bit the accessories, so we'll kind of skim through it and show you what it looks like, the charger. And then last question for now, with Control4 not yet supporting Zigbee 3.0, how can you communicate at this point? So very good question. So as you guys know, Control4 is moving from Zigbee Pro proprietary stack to the Zigbee 3.0 open protocol. So down, in the next months, we don't know when exactly, Control4 will be releasing its Zigbee 3.0 solution. So the beauty about that is now you can see the Zigbee 3.0 rolling its mesh, and then Clara Shades contributing to the mesh, since now we're talking about an integrated Zigbee 3.0 solution. But at the moment, you do need the Tahoma gateway, which is what we showed you in the slide, which allows you to integrate into your Control4 solution. So the shades will talk back to the gateway and then integrates over IP to Control4. That's it for now, Jay. I'll hand it back to you, and I'll make sure.
I just wanted to add to that. We're always innovating, and you can see Control4 has got their head in the game too. I know that the chip for the Zigbee 3.0 communications already rolled out with the core processors, and it's just a matter of them enabling it, and it'll be that native integration that you were talking about. So, like I said, we have a solution for every wiring situation. So if you have more the standard or traditional type wiring, a 2-con for power and a 2-con for communication, we have our gorgeous beast solution, the Q-line. It's a super powerful motor. It's I mean, among other things that it does incredibly well, it does large oversized shades. It does multiple band coupled shades. It's a bus technology, and like I said, more traditional, wired back to that centralized panel. Like you can see our panel there in the picture. I mean, one of the most incredible features, this is the type of shade that you would go toe to toe in the ring with, say, Savoya QS. This is the one that's that's ultra quiet, super reliable, and the real beauty about it is the price to quality ratio that we have. It will kick the pants off the competition. When you do a quote, you get your quote with the other guys, and then you see what we can do. I think you're gonna fall in love easily. So this
Can I
is
say
the
something about the Q-line?
Sure, please.
Yeah. So I mean, you hit something very important. How important is we try to fit our product for every option out there, right? And it's very typical that you have these large scale homes, and that they're wired with 4 wires, and you want to be able to control over 24 volt DC power over 24 volt DC, and have 2 communication wires as well. The beauty about the Q-line is definitely the price to quality ratio. The way our product lineup is streamlined, and the way we've hand selected the motor and the technology and the fabric selection to make sure that we give you, the dealer channel, the possibility to get into a lot more projects. And that's where the Q-line falls perfectly into play. When you have, like Jason said, extremely large shades, or maybe 4 coupled band shades and stuff like that, and you have the 4 wires to be able to integrate into your automation solution, this is where you would pick the Q-line. And then you're literally sometimes talking a third of the price of what's out there. So that allows you, the dealer, to get into a lot more opportunities and close your opportunities and protect your business, protect your market, because you're the ones at the end line wiring these 4-wire conductors. You're the one out there sometimes installing these shades. More importantly, you're the one being called or for support when something goes wrong, because you're the automation specialist. So why not be the one selling these shades and integrating them into your own automation solution? And that's where the Q-line fits the bill perfectly, is when you have these 4-wire conductors and you're in a more sophisticated environment. It is the best price to quality ratio product on the market, and it runs at 35 decibel, the quietest motor on the market.
Yeah, I mean, we had guys at the booth, and we were doing they had just done a job, and they wanted to do a comparable to really test that, you know, pricing out. And I mean, you'll do it for yourself, but these guys were like, couldn't believe it. So just getting back into the slide deck here. I mean, what you're seeing here is our 5.5-inch hardware, which allows us to put 2 rollers into 1 shade. You know, a very exciting possibility of a blackout and, say, a transparency shade in one. And even though, as I mentioned at the top, everything was run for those indoor shades on PoE motors, all of our motors can do these same, you know, kind of configurations, the Zigbee 3.0 and the Q-line as well. So outdoor shades. I mean, outdoor living has become really popular, and why not? You got to enjoy those beautiful landscape backyards, you know, those beautiful pools, and what a great way to do it. This shade has been, you know, the design of it, they've thought of it from top to bottom, bottom to top. I mean, even in the middle, this shade has technology everywhere you look. So you can set this up for not only, you know, sun protection, but it also protects it, you know, helps offer protection against wind, rain, insects. It's really an amazing addition to your backyard lifestyle. It's an RTS technology and uses line voltage. And as I was saying, at the very top, we'll start from the top down here. At the top, the hardware is powder coated, you know, making it the right option, you know, for durability in an outside environment. And the motor itself is IP44 rated, meaning it has been designed to, you know, take on water, splashes of water in all kinds of directions. You know, it's the right solution for you. Now, moving down from the top, we also have a dual side channel setup. And, you know, if you've, I'm sure you have, but, you know, no wall is ever perfectly plumb. And with this system, you mount the outer rail, and then you use the inner rails with the shade. You run it up and down a few times, and it adjusts itself to get that perfect, you know, plumb, so that the shade just glides up and down perfectly. And then once that's done, you rivet it together, and it's rock solid. This outdoor shade is also one that offers as simple as a handheld, you know, water resistant remote control that you can leave outside on the patio table. We can have an app controlling it, and you can even integrate it into your third-party, control systems. So it's really a great solution. This is, you know, what the people were able to see. And you'll notice as it travels down to the bottom, it's going to lock itself into place, and there, just reversed a little bit. And then to release, it drops down and pulls itself back up. Now, that heavy duty bar at the bottom actually has, well, it's not just the bar, it's the shade itself, has obstacle detection built into it. And what obstacle detection is, in case you left a chair or somebody left their bicycle or something underneath the shade, instead of it unrolling and inside the housing, because it can't, you know, continue its descent, it actually stops and retracts itself just up just above the obstacle, you know, protecting it. Again, another really brilliant feature built into the shade. And at CEDIA, we were having fun having people stand under the shade as the obstacle, and it really doesn't hit you too hard. And then it just would bounce back up and, you know, protect the shade. What a great idea. These shades can be standardly ordered on the portal. in widths of 16 feet and drops of 10. Now, that's going to cover a lot of the openings out there, but in case they're larger, we can do larger openings. And, as you can see on the bottom with a custom request, you can even get, up to 23 feet or 16 feet of drop, which is, pretty covering almost everything. So going back to some of the technology, ultra lock. This is where some heavy duty latching pins, we talked about it before, lock in and the shade retracts. And what that does is it makes the surface of the shade when locked in place perfectly smooth and even more resistant to the wind. And it's a mechanical thing. So there's no wiring needed to pass into the bottom. A lot of people were asking that question at the show. No, it's mechanically done. And the other really great feature is that side rail, again, the zip fed technology, holding the fabric securely in the side rail, ensuring, zero gaps. It's, for an outdoor product, really, really brilliant.
And Jason, again, it goes back to our experience, coming from the industry, we know what usually hurts when you're doing outdoor shade. And it starts with that handbar. That handbar needs to be an extremely heavy duty handbar. Why? Because you have sometimes coastal applications, you have windy applications, mountain applications, and sometimes winter applications, right? So you want that handbar to be as solid as possible, because that's what usually will break or bend. And when that handbar starts bending, it starts pulling on these side channels, which then break. And then that's what happens usually down the road in a couple of years from now. So that ultra lock system and that zip technology is very critical, because that's what allows to give a perfect look with the fabric tensioning when it's locked and in position. But it's also that handbar won't start shaking and hitting metal on metal as it go down, not only giving it a reliability perspective, giving it a reliability, but also more importantly, giving it a comfort while you're outside and sitting in your deck or whatever. You're not hearing metal on metal banging on each other because that shade is in its ultra lock position. So very important to take into that account, that it's aesthetically pleasing, but more importantly, it's durability. And that's what you usually want with outdoor shades. You want a durable product, and these two technologies, zip fed and ultra lock, will allow you and give you that confidence.
Yeah, I mean, and we really tested that shade out at the show. I mean, it was put through its paces, people pushing on it. And I mean, the thing just worked every single time. Amazing. So let me talk quickly about our specs. And we're going to start by talking about our motor lineups again. We're going to regroup them. We have the Zigbee 3.0 fully wireless battery solution. And in that same, category, the 24 volt with the routing capability. Remember how that expands the mesh for us. The PoE shade, what a dream motor to work with, and in every single motor that we had on display at CEDIA. And rounding out the lineup, our outdoor shade. And then we also have our super powerful Q-line motor, which is, again, sexy beast is how I like to name it. And then at the bottom, these are the control systems that you can see that, we integrate seamlessly with, with our products. Quickly, these are wiring specs. Don't worry about it. You can always find this on the portal if you need to refer back to it, or you can get in touch with us. But basically, it's just showing you, if I have a Q-line motor, what type of wiring do I need? And then what types of wire lengths can I run? And that always impressive 328 feet runs, man, for a PoE shade. That's just, mind-boggling. Our hardware, well, so we have both enclosed shades, which we see on the top right, and then open roll shades, which you see, more on the left on the bottom. Both are gorgeous, and depending on the application or the taste of the homeowner, they're both available. Shades, indoor shades, can be ordered anywhere from 24 to 118 inches with 16 feet of drop natively on the portal. That means no custom request. You can just be sure it's going to work. And for larger jobs, we do custom requests. So you can see we can make some even larger shades. Now, I mentioned this earlier, how the people were blown away at the show when it came to our different our hardware selection. And I mean, I joke about it, but this is where you can really see the depth, because people were, when we would show it to them, and so our 3 and 4 inch hardware have adjustability built into it. What does this mean? It means even when your ceiling's not perfectly level, you don't have to take down the shade after mounting it, you know, when you find out it's not level, and put some shims in one side to level it out. You can correct that problem without even removing the shade, just with that leveling screw. And what that does in terms of ease of installation and time saving on the project, people were like, you know, couldn't believe it. And then, you know, we would explain, well, you know, we come from the CI world and we think of those kinds of things because it matters to us as well.
Can I say something, Jason?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say something. Johnny's popping in a comment here, and I really appreciate it. That is true. He's referring to the custom shade and the size and the and also the capacity to adjust these large shades, right? So he's saying that is true. I just had them quote me a 150-inch shade, one panel, not even coupled. So and typically we're able to get your custom requests dealt in the same day, same morning, same hour. Sometimes obviously it depends on the question. We typically want to make sure that the dealer, know exactly what's happening and what's going on, especially when you're doing such a large shade, because typically railroading is involved, meaning that the fabric will be shifted sideways, and we want to make sure that you know that the other shades next to it need to be railroaded as well for aesthetic purposes. So this is why there's a little custom request. It's just for our engineering team to review and make sure you, the dealer, are comfortable with the process, and that's why we want to make sure that it's done properly through the portal.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even a crazy price. That's what Johnny said. And it wasn't even crazy price. Thanks, Johnny.
All right. So jumping back in, like we talked about before, we have our 5.5 inch hardware, which allows us to put in, you know, 2 rollers into one enclosure, and our, you know, super simple but really sleek open roll hardware. They're available in a few different colors and a few different finishes. And, you know, here's some quick applications. Open roll, you can do a single motorized, or if you look below, you can even do a coupled application. Then for our enclosed, and I cannot stress enough what a pleasure it is to work with the 3 and 4 inch hardware. You got the single motorized or the couple. And then when we go over to our big hardware, the 5.5 inch, that's when you want to get those dual shades, you know, in like in a bedroom, a nighttime and a daytime shade, and that can be coupled as well. Here is those, you know, a picture, and if you look at the brackets, you can see there's like a little black vertical pin, and there's an Allen key mounted to the left-hand side. You just slip out that Allen key and you adjust that vertical pin, which corrects, you know, the level of your shade, not having to drop it. All of our hardware can be used in, you know, regular roll or reverse roll. And just going back to Cedia, I had somebody and they came from the South. And when I said regular or reverse roll, they called it mullet or beard. And I won't forget I won't forget that. So mullet being the regular roll and beard being the reverse roll.
Can I add something also?
Sure.
People were really impressed with the concept of the fascia. So not only can you get a front fascia that has it in a regular application, but you could also put a rear fascia in the back to cover the back of the fascia, the shade. And if you wanted to do a reverse roll, you could actually flip them like this. So you could create kind of your box with 2 fascias without having to need to have a pocket or whatever. And we're going to talk about pockets very shortly, but that's the flexibility, is you could add fascias or remove a fascia or flip them upside down to, you know, you screwed up, you forgot that there was a handle on that patio door and that's coming in the way of the shade. No problem. Just revert your fascia and there you go. You have it in reverse roll. You turn your shade and you have it in reverse roll. It's that easy. And that's what we want to make sure that when you get your shades on the site, you're not stuck and not being able to work with the right product.
Yeah. So just like Joe's saying, that double fascia makes that shade look beautiful from outside as well as inside the house. So this is our 5.5 inch. So you can see there's multiple mounting positions, so you can get those 2 shades into one enclosure. And the sleek but elegant, you know, minimalistic open roll hardware, which, you know, a lot of people made the comment to me, you know, they've had some difficulties with others where you had to be precise where the wire came out and so on and so forth. Ours is just so easy to install. And with that end cap, it's just a simple press fit end cap. You slide it on. It's like a piece of cake. You slide it on, slide it off, you know.
And it's available in multiple colors, this end cap as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. The same colors we mentioned there before, or were written down before. So like Joe was saying, if there's a request to mount the shade above the ceiling, we have pockets. And if the contractor builds a pocket for you, well, you can even still use our pocket closure. You'll just mount an eye clip and mount that pocket closure to it. And for the people looking for that total blackout environment, the side channels and bottom channels will, you know, take our shades and really, you know, block out any possibility of light infiltration. When it comes to fabric, we've very carefully curated a selection of fabrics that cover 90%, if not more, of the most popular choices out there today. And so we have our modern collection available in a number of transparencies as well as a blackout. Then there's our deco collection, which has, you know, a number of transparencies again, and a blackout. And what I really like about deco is that white back. So if you ever have a homeowners association or a, you know, a condo building, you can standardize the look from the outside and still give the homeowner some choice of color on the inside.
Yeah, because the decorative collection, it has like all this textured finish and look, and it's very neat and very, you know, pretty aesthetically pleasing to have in a home. But when you're looking from the outside of a home, you don't want to have that rainbow effect or multicolor effect. So having that white backing kind of gives it a neutral tone from the outside and gives it a pleasant look from the outside of the home as well.
Yeah. Just finishing up the fabrics, we have our outdoor shade fabrics with 2 transparencies and 8 gorgeous colors to choose from. Now I'm going to hand things over to Silvana to run us through the easy-to-use dealer portal.
Thanks, Jason. So quickly, we are going through the time quickly here. So we'll quickly look at the dealer portal, which is very easy to use. So our dealer portal is easily accessible, obviously, on your desktop and laptop, but also phones and tablets. So you can easily bring it, have access to it when you're on a job site. So we're just going to take a quick look at what it is to create a quote. So you have a quick quote and a detailed quote. Difference is the quick quote is the quotes, the information that will give you influence pricing and can be done very quickly so that you can at least send pricing to your client. The detailed quote will contain information such as colors and mount types and et cetera, that don't influence pricing and can be done once you're ready to order. So just really quickly, because I want to show you how easy this is. So we'll quote a shade that's, let's say, single motorized. We're going to do just a battery as Zigbee 3.0. We're going to do an open roll finish, and you'll see on the right-hand side how when we click open roll, you see what it looks like. A collection, we'll do a modern collection with a translucent fabric, and we'll just choose a transparency of 1%. We're going to do a 50 wide by 60 high, and there you go. We will click on that, and there's your pricing. So you have your MSRP shows up there at $789. To get your dealer cost, push on that button, and there you go. $473 is your dealer cost, and all you have to do is click on Save to Project. Boom, it's done. It's in your projects. So that's how quick you can do it. Add accessories, and I do want to go because we mentioned before someone wanted to see the power plug, I believe, the magnetic.
Yeah,
so here you have, you also have here, you'll notice at the top the S line, Q line, and outdoor, so that can narrow down the accessories based on what you've selected. So you have gateways, you have panels, and you have power plugs. If we can go on the power plugs, just to show the picture of the magnetic adapter. So that would be what the magnetic adapter looks like for the person who had asked. You have hardware and you have samples. Samples here is where you would order your sample books. So important to keep in mind, easy to do, 3 sample books, very well priced, and it's important to get those in to get your projects with Clara Shades started. So that's how easy it is to quote a project. Now, one thing that I do want to mention here is if you go on the left-hand side, you'll see the request section. You have the Genius Squad. Our Genius Squad is there to help you build your projects, to help answer all your questions and make sure you have all the information you need to quote your projects and to get the right solutions. So all you need to do is just, you can see, you can quote or book a session depending on what you want to talk about. I highly recommend to new partners doing the technical intro to Clara Shades. It's a short session, definitely worth it. It'll get you familiar very quickly with Clara Shades, but you can have whatever it is that you need to talk about, you can book it, and we will have our best person for that topic on that call to you. Easy to do. You can do it at any time. Feel free to do it.
Can I say something, Silvana?
Yes, of course.
What people told me that was pretty impressive with the Genius is that, how many times are you on a job site or one of your techs is on a job site and they're stuck and they're waiting in the queue because they need to talk to an expert, right? How amazing it is, how amazing Genius Squad is that you could actually book your expert when you want to talk to them. So say you wanted to talk to a Control 4 integration specialist that it will talk to you about integrating Clara Shades. You go on to Genius Squad, you say, tomorrow morning, I'll be there at 8 a.m. I want somebody from Clara Shades to call me that knows about this and that to help me finalize my project or to help me install and integrate my project. Bang, you'll get somebody calling you when you want them to call you. That's the flexibility we want to offer to dealers. And we understand that because, again, coming from the CI channel, coming with our own experience, we hated when our technicians were stuck in the queue and having to wait to a technical expert or the right technical expert. Now you could book that technical expert when it's convenient for you.
Exactly. So definitely something to keep in mind. And you can see all the other information. We have motorized tracks that we can do. You can do a special request on custom shade. We can get that done for you. Custom shade, as I believe Johnny was saying earlier, it can be done within maximum 24 hours. And it'll be done for you by our engineering team that will review the custom shade. Documentation, an important part of the portal as well. And then you have a lot of other information that's there for you. The documentation has, as you can see, tons of information. If you don't find your information here, then a Genius Squad is always there, but this could be a good way to get your information. So I think we're going to move on. Sorry?
Yeah, very quickly, maybe add that you have the specifications, all the dimensions, everything on the hardware, but you also have, more importantly, the programming guides, the integration guides. These are very important documents to share with your team to make sure that they feel comfortable with the product. And there are some tutorials that I'm sure you're going to talk about, Silvana. There's tutorials.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so the tutorials are also a very good tool. They're amazing. I always sell these because they're so good. They're short videos, but man, do they have a lot of information. So there's several places where you can get all the information you need to build your project. RMAs can be done right. We hope that you don't have to do them, but they're there. If anything does go wrong, you can right from the portal put in your information and get the RMA started so that we can help you solve the issue that you're having quickly. And marketing pictures that you can use for your own collateral. And lastly, which the other thing that we love is our Shade Simulator, which can help you make your choices with your clients easy by giving them a great visual, showing them the different transparencies, what they look like, showing them different colors, what's an inside mount versus an outside mount, enclosed versus open roll. They can see it visual. Most people are very visual. This will help you and your customers come to a decision together. You can see viewing out, you can view it from inside, you can view it from outside. It really gives your customer a very good visual and really helps them make the best choices for them. Keep in mind that you can see at the top, it does say there's a code to embed the Shade Simulator on your own website for you to use on a regular basis. A great, great tool. I'm telling you, you're going to play with it. You're going to love it. Everybody
it's very
loves it.
common, Silvana, that when you're selling to, I don't know, the husband, he's there,
Yeah.
he's the one coming up to meet with you for their automation system. And then he goes, well, the shading part is not me, it's my wife.
Yeah.
But you spent an hour explaining what's inside mount and outside mount, open, roll, and close. And then he tries to go back home, explain to his wife, but can't get the message through. Imagine if he had that tool straight onto your website. So you just send him over to your website, just tell him, use this tool to explain it to your wife. And there you go. It's going to be that much easier. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And this really does help make it so clear. So please feel free to use that and to put that on your website and use it. I'm telling you, it's going to make your life a lot easier. So we talked, I mentioned earlier, Clara AI. I wanted to just quickly go. So we were super excited about presenting this at CEDIA. There was an amazing buzz around this at our booth. Everyone wanted to learn more about it. Keep in mind, it is still being worked on, but our team is working very hard to get this out soon. So if you don't mind, we'll take a very quick look. Pay attention. It goes by quickly. There's a good reason for that. That's because it will be that quick when we have it up and running. So Clara AI is going to help you build your projects even faster than what we saw before. So by entering your questions, you will get your information. You can create a project from a template. So once the template's created, there you go. Click on it, give it to the installation date. It's going to be created in a matter of seconds. You can create multiple shades. That's always a tough one when you have a big project and you've got a lot of shades that are similar and you have to enter each one. This one will do it for you. It's going to be done that quickly. See that? Modifying a project, because changes will happen. Customer will change their minds. Here, we want to change it to a white fascia. Done. And validating accessories. That's always an important part. And we get asked that a lot, to validate accessories on projects. Here, the AI is going to do the validation for you. This tool is going to be time-saving. It's going to be effortless. It's going to allow you to work better, faster, and get those projects out to your clients even faster than they are right now. And they are, the quoting is fast now. This will be even better. So keep your eye out for that. We're very excited about it. Like I said, it created a ton of buzz at CEDIA, and so keep an eye out for it. It's going to be great. You'll see. So at Clara, you see, we're always innovating, and we do want you to see the difference. Now, the difference at Clara is our comprehensive support. That's there. One thing that's also a big, what makes us different is our amazing delivery. So our lead times, 2 to 3 weeks for indoor shades, 4 to 6 weeks for outdoor shades, not months, weeks. Yes, weeks. I know a lot of people always go, are you sure it's weeks? Yes, it's weeks. And we do, I can tell you, we do stick to that protocol. So that's amazing. Our support, we talked about the Genius Squad earlier. That's one aspect of it. But you have support from us before, during, and after your project. So before and during your project, we are always there to help you build your project. Afterwards, we are there as well. Should anything come up, a problem, an issue, you don't know how to do something, it happens, we are there for you. Now, we do have a 3-tier support system ranging from someone who will take your call and a customer support person. If that doesn't solve it, we go to our field technicians who will have the experience necessary to solve your issue. And we do have a 3rd level, which is our engineering team. Rarely do we have to go to them, but they are there should the issue require more expertise. So that part of Clara Shades is an important part of who we are. The bottom line is we're there to help you. We're there to help you build your projects. Marketing. We talked about the sample books, the photo banks, the simulator. Those are all great tools, but we have other tools for you. So we have, what's really interesting, our demo discount. So for 5 indoor shades and 1 outdoor shade, you can get 30%. So it can be for your showroom, your office, maybe even your home. The point is that we want you to try out our shade, work with it. So 30% off the shades up to 5 indoor, 1 outdoor. We also have a 10% off first order. So that's not to be combined with the 30%, but that is for your first client order. So 10% off the shades. It can be a $5,000 order. It can be a $50,000 order. You'll get your 10%. And of course, the partner rewards. Don't forget, 3 points per dollar spent at Clara Shades. So lots of tools to help you do the business that you need to do and get those projects. I said we're here to help. We are here to help. Email us at any time, dealer@clarashades.com. You can email us and we can either we'll call you, we'll answer your question, we'll get you the answer that you want. And of course, you can always contact us by phone at the number that you see there. So before we answer more questions, because I know that there's a few more, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time today. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. And we hope to hear from you really, really soon. Joseph, I think there's a few questions.
Yeah, there's a few questions. And before we just get to the quick questions, I just want to remind everybody that, there's one word that comes to mind when we're developing our product and our offering. It's always easy for the dealers, right? We come from the industry, we understand it. So we spoke about how easy it is to install the shades with the adjustable brackets for indoor shades, adjustable side rails for outdoor shades. We spoke about how easy it is to program, integrate them since they're natively integrated into automation systems and they're certified. We spoke how easy it is to be supported through the RMA, self-serve RMA process on the portal, or through our Genius Squad that is so easy and accessible. Now we're also working on making the quoting process that much more instantaneous, making it easy for you to get your quotes out. If a designer calls and asks you to change one thing, you don't need to log back. You just tell the Clara AI to change something, bang, it's going to be done. So always making things easy for you. And that's why we feel that we're perfectly geared for the CI channel. And Clara Shades is exclusive to Snap One, but it's also exclusive to the CI channel, right? You won't find a local designer or a local retailer coming out and proposing Clara Shades. We cater to the CI channel, and that's our commitment, and that's how we've been always developing the product. So we have some comments here, some Q&As. This is awesome, great work. Well, thank you, Alex. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the feedback. Another one here. What standalone controls, i.e., wall handheld, are available? Jason, you want to talk about the standalone environment when, especially if you have battery shades, for example, how you could add a remote or the app? Very quickly?
Yes. So, I mean, the remote can pair natively. And the question is, it's a handheld remote and there's a little hanger. So you can even, hang it off of the wall. It's, that's for the Zigbee lineup. And the outdoor shade is, it's a water resistant handheld remote control. It as well has a little hanger. So you can, in case you didn't just want to leave it on a table, you had a place you wanted to hook it up and always have it available from there. There's a little hanger for the remote control there as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Jay. Very quickly, Sean is saying, yeah, nice presentation. Appreciate it, Sean. Somebody else is saying, do I need to buy a demo kit to sell Clara Shades? So the answer to that, again, coming from the industry, no, you do not have to spend $1,000 on sample books. No, you do not have to buy a demo kit. Now, is it best practice to buy a demo kit and buy a few sample books at $30 a pop? Yeah, we recommend it. But your first demo kit could be your first project because that's how easy it is to do motorized shades. And plus, like Silvana said, you could get 30% on your demo or 10% on your first project. So I hope that answers your question. We got another one. If we only need or have a demo room for only 3 Clara roller shades, do we still get 30% off? Absolutely. As long as it's up to 5 indoor shades and 1 outdoor shade, you get 30% off the shades themselves.
And even if down the road you wanted to add 2 more, you could still get them.
Exactly. We've got another question. Do you have the option to custom make printed shades for retail applications, company logos? No, so not at the moment. Right now, we do not cater to the, let's call it commercial printed applications, but you never know, maybe down the road. I mean, if not, you can get it done probably by a local printer and just buy the shades directly from Clara Shades. We have another one. Are all of your rewire boxes now shipping with UL listing? I have received a few without. Yes, absolutely. Very good question. So at one point, we were still working on a UL listing, and yes, they are all UL listed. So the boxes are good to go. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Jesus said thank you. So I appreciate the words. Next one, do you offer in-person training or training in my local Snap outlet? Gary, you want to talk about local training?
You know, Jason's already embarked on the first 2, which was Seattle and Portland. That means we've got 40 more to go across the country. You guys go to snap1partnerstores.com. You're going to see the link, register for your specific area, and you're going to see Jason live in-store training. We got a morning session where he'll go through basically the setup process, the ordering process, all you need to know. And then secondly, after lunch, you can come in and bring your specific plans in there. We urge you guys, spend some time with Jason, get one-on-one on this. This is all about you guys being completely familiar and comfortable with this category. We're coming to you.
Thanks, Gary. We got a question that popped in. What is the most narrow shade available? So the portal limits you to 24 inches, but again, custom request, depending on the motor lineup and what can be done. The battery shade, for example, can go as low as 17 inch. At that point, we add an external battery pack that can be hidden easily behind a fascia. We also have some extremely narrow shades with our Q line. So it goes back to the product lineup. Enter your shades at 24 inches in the portal. Just submit a quick custom request. You'll see sometimes within an hour, sometimes within 10 minutes, people get answered. So it's pretty well done. Control 4 compatible, absolutely. Not only compatible, but certified. That's very important to mention. So it's backed by Control 4 and Snap One. Great presentation. Thank you. We will have our first order within the next 2 weeks. That's David.
All right.
Silvana, take note of that.
Yes.
Next question. Sorry, I don't even have time to click on it's done. Do you have the option to custom? Oh no, that one I answered. I just submitted my dealer application. How long does the turnaround take? Also, is there any person on-site installation training offered? We answered that one through Gary. Do you have a rep that covers the Northern California area? So Snap One is our exclusive partner. They have reps all over the country, obviously. Through Geniuses, you could talk to any rep at any given time just by booking a meeting with us. But to answer your first question, your dealer application, if you're a Snap One dealer and already authorized dealer, literally it can take 24 hours, and then you have the login and the credentials to log into the portal and get yourself going. Typically, we recommend you ordering sample books just to get your hands dirty, and obviously book a Genius if you want more in-depth training for you or your staff. One more question. Is it okay, Gary?
Absolutely. Let's keep rolling on. We don't have a hard
right.
stop, guys. If the audience has to bail off, no problem. You know the drill. I'm going to get all this stuff information to you guys, the deck and the recording as well. But let's take care of our guys. I love the participation.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. So I have a fabric demo from SI, and I have customers that have chosen a fabric from there. Will Clara have access to the same fabric? So we keep on mentioning that we have a 2 to 3 week lead time. We have a very good pricing structure, and it always goes back to our streamline process. What 90% of what is required in the market, right? So our fabric collection, our hardware, our motor lineup, everything is catered to 90% of what is required. And this is why we commit to that turnaround and that price point. Now, should you want a specific fabric or a specific dimension, no problem. Just put in your request on the custom request, create your shade, put a custom request, and our team is going to visit it and adjust it based on what's possible and feasible. So absolutely, we do often match custom fabric selections, but the beauty is you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on binders that you're going to probably never use 90% of the fabrics that are in there anyways. Again, goes back to our experience, right? Now that you are partnered with Snap One, do you follow the same free shipping now? So no, these are custom requests, custom size. It's typically people will order 80, 90 inch wide shades, very commonly outdoor shades that are 12 feet, 16 feet wide. So I mean, the free shipping policy doesn't really apply here. But the reality is that the portal automatically and dynamically calculates the shipping price. So obviously, the more you order, the more it reduces the cost, and it becomes negligible at the end. When you're talking about a couple $100s on a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 dealer cost solution, it's negligible, the dollar amount of shipping compared to the value of sale that you actually bringing to their customer. Luchan just announced longer lead times because of fabric shortage. Are you guys experiencing the same? No, it goes back to a streamlined facility, right? So when we were talking about the portal, how dynamic it is, and this is all integrated dynamically into our production facility. So when you're actually placing your order, you're actually commanding the machines to start producing your stuff in the next few days. It's really that dynamic, and what makes it that dynamic is also our streamlined product lineup. So we have inventory for the fabrics that we cater to and carry. Now, when you do ask for a custom, yes, sometimes longer lead times do apply. But when you stick to our standard modern deco and outdoor collections, you will get your shades in 2 to 3 weeks and 4 to 6 weeks, and sometimes even faster. Sometimes people are shocked to get them the same week, but we don't commit to that. Sounds good. Thank you. Obrigado. Sean said obrigado. I think it's a terminology that I don't know.
That's thank you. That's in Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Obrigado.
Thank you. Gracias. Did I miss anything? I'm not sure if I clicked on every single question, but I think, Gary, I'm gonna give it back to you at this point. I want to say thank you to everybody. Really appreciate your energy all throughout the presentation. I think we've answered over 50 questions. So that goes to show that you guys are very in tune with motorized shades, and we want to thank you for your participation today.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost 100 partners as well. And it's interesting to see that offset. Everybody's got kind of a question, not that they're completely mystified by the whole process, but you could see the shipping questions, or the, we've heard in the industry where there are shortages and stuff. And I think people are right on the same page, which is most importantly why we do these things, why we're getting out in the field, because we're going to lead you through this category properly. Thank you very much for asking the questions about the support team across the country. That also, it just makes people really feel comfortable about where they can go and continue this conversation. All right, guys, I know we could probably go on and on. I will get those questions actually printed out, and we will be able to review those. I got the deck, guys. We recorded today's session. What a great session! A lot of energy, you guys, and thank you so much. I mean, I wonder, like with the 3-point incentive system, Silvana, with the 30% off, and then the 10% off, and then the 3 points on Snap. Are you guys hiring more people? I mean, it's going to be an influx. No, I'm just teasing. No, but you guys are well in front of it. I mean, just the confidence I feel from Clara. You guys, I'd love to be part of your strategy meetings. I mean, Joseph, do you do like coffee at the strategy meetings, or is it like after hours with a beer? Who knows? But you're doing the right thing, right? Anyways, I'll leave it at that, and remind everybody on October 19th, we're doing Oktoberfest at all the stores. Please come on into the stores. We're hosting everybody with some beer and some sponsors and everything else, but that's where you're going to be able to see in the locations our Clara shade demo. So please come in and ask questions. Let's go have some fun, guys, and we're right behind you 110%. I'll keep these questions live. I'll get those to you back, and Joseph. And that's going to conclude our Wednesday webinar series, man. Let's keep the conversation going. Jason, I thank you so much for making your way around. I'll see you when you're in SoCal. Savannah, thank you so much. Joseph, it's always a pleasure, my man.
Thank you guys. So much, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.